Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's session of Meet the Global Leader, which is organized by School of Entrepreneurship Development. This webinar is actually targeting and for the university going students who are currently studying at the universities, and we try to share professional journeys of professionals around the world to give insights about how people are doing things apart from Bangladesh in their professional field, and their lessons and their inspirations, and some suggestions regarding how students can broaden their mindset, the global mindset. And we also try to create awareness among them that before graduation, student life, this valuable time, they should develop some skills and basic knowledge about the professional career they want to explore after their graduation. So today we have invited Ms. Fiona Barker. She is the communications director of Hanson Hong Kong, and she is basically a highly accomplished communications and CSR professional with a proven track record of success. Her experience spans across various organizations and industries, and she's also an award winning communicator. She is an experienced leader. She has a strong foundation in journalism and continuously honed her skills in that area. She has also a global perspective. She has beyond strong writing and communication skills. She boasts fluency in English and beginner's Spanish. Please join me in welcoming Miss Fiona Barker. Fiona, welcome to our session.
Hi, what a lovely introduction. It's always great to hear, your accolades put together. It's great to be here. Happy Friday. And
Yeah,
hello.
thank you. So, as you know, we our audience are specifically students who are studying at the universities right now. So, if you take us back to your student life, how was it,
Mhm.
and what did you do when you were a student that actually helped you to develop some skills and shape you as a person, the things that you are doing right now?
Yeah, I'd love to. And I'll just start by sharing a little bit about my background. I was born in the UK, but actually grew up in the Middle East in Oman. So, not far from where some of the viewers will be watching today. And that itself gave me this very global outlook from the very beginning. I spent 10 years there. I then moved back to the UK and went to study in Leeds. I chose to study journalism because at that time I just had so much passion for writing. Um, I quickly learned that journalism is not just writing, it's about broadcast as well. In 2012, when I was at university, it was very much about citizen journalism, social media, using videos, vlogs. So very quickly, I had to build those skills and make sure that I was equipped to be a journalist in the modern age. Um, During my time at university, I just dived straight into activities. I was very active in the volunteering community. So I would spend many semesters helping to organize after school clubs, working with local students, doing things like sports or arts and culture. So that gave me my first experience of volunteering and giving back in the community. I learned about the international volunteering and also spent some time in Thailand with other students teaching English. When we went, it was quite soon after a tsunami. So, in addition to teaching English, we also spent some time building and maintaining playgrounds for orphanages. And so that really gave me this understanding of situations that no one wants to end up in certain situations, but the world has happened to them. um, In addition, I also spent time volunteering in South Africa, another international trip that I wanted to do as part of my internship. So I spent 2 months in Cape Town, and doing journalism, it was very natural to go and work for a magazine. This was a free magazine, a non-profit magazine, whose mission was to bring topics to light that perhaps the public otherwise might not hear about. And so I was writing and investigating and researching things like local activists, cultural festivals, and really bringing stories to life. Those skills themselves still serve me today. I'm not doing journalism at the moment, but communications and partnerships and engagement with the public, you need these skills. You have to be able to question why, you have to get to the heart of things, really have a look at what is going on. And in the work that I do today, it is my role to compel other people to help. So being able to identify issues and causes and then being able to retell that story to the community is really vital. And so that's one of the biggest skills that I picked up along my way at university.
Right. So what made you? So in most cases, say for example, like here, we always think about within the boundary stuff. I mean, but since like it's been many years, we know because of this internet, we're living in a global village. So maybe I born in my country, but the whole world is my place. I can explore, we can explore, and with the right expertise or skill sets, I can contribute in any sector in any country. So, what actually made you to go or explore beyond your border? Like you have been different places, countries, experience different things. What made you go beyond your border?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think having that experience of growing up in a country that wasn't my own and always sort of being a guest, I really loved that. I loved being able to fit into different cultures, or to learn about different experiences. So that stayed with me, and I think that's why I've been so compelled to move countries or to volunteer in different countries. I don't think I shared at the beginning, but I'm now living in Hong Kong. So, and I've been here for 5 years, and I love being a guest, but a very welcomed guest. I think, like you say, it's so easy to experience and live or be a part of other communities these days. And so it's something I just want to keep doing. And I don't think I'll ever stop learning about religions, cultural backgrounds, traditions. We have national holidays quite often in Hong Kong, and I'm always speaking to my colleagues, what does this one mean? And why do we give gifts on this day? And why are we racing dragon boats and things like that? So yeah, and I really encourage anyone to sort of have that mindset that we're all here to learn from one another, and we're just so lucky to be able to do that now.
Great, great. And there's so many opportunities as well around the world for students, and they should explore that. Like they should have that mindset that they can contribute, and not only by going there, but also sitting at their home, they can also contribute to volunteering activities with their right skill sets. So
Mhm.
after graduation, if you share about your professional experiences, how did you start and what actually you did in the beginning of your career, professional career?
Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah. So graduating with a journalism degree in 2012, and I moved very quickly into public relations and communications. I actually stayed with the university that I was studying. They were recruiting for an entry level PR officer. And so that was very natural, and it was sort of within my comfort zone because I'd been studying there for 3 years. So I spent my first 2 years doing communications for the university, going out, meeting alumni. What are they doing now? Writing stories about them, going to meet the media, come along and find out about this latest lecturer and the research that they've come up with. So that was sort of in line, very similar to journalism, but moving towards the more sort of public relations aspect. And then I was really lucky to come across an opportunity with a large company in the UK called Sky, and I spent 5 years there. The organization was really empowering. You could get involved in anything that you wanted, and as long as you had the confidence and the ability to try, they would always be saying, it's okay to fail, but as long as we fail quickly and move on. And so that mindset has always been with me. So I spent 5 years there. And the fact that they allow you to try new things is where I developed the idea to work with community and social impact. And so at the time, we didn't have any charitable activities happening in the company, but they very much wanted to do that. And they wanted to bring staff engagement together with given activities. So I was really lucky to be given that role. And we nominated charities, we developed partnerships, sponsorships. And this role that I had was really about engaging our employees with their local community. And then here I am. I moved to Hong Kong 5 years ago with my husband. I still always had that thing in my mind that I wanted to go live somewhere else again. And we came across in 2019. It was quite a challenging time for Hong Kong as a city. We were going through some social unrest. Very soon the pandemic arrived. So we've kind of been sitting it out, and just trying to make the most of what the city could offer us at that time. And we've learned to love it, and it feels like home now. So, and here we are, and I'm 2 years into my role at Hands on Hong Kong, where I help to run that charity with the amazing leadership team.
Great, great. And like in most cases, maybe in South Asia, it's common after graduation when they start their professional career, they find it there is a gap. Like what we separately what we study at the universities, the subjects is in most cases irrelevant in with like the real life experience. So
Mm.
how was it for you when you first started working professionally, and did you find any gap uh, at what you are doing in terms of skills or knowledge? So
Mm.
how was your first the very fresh learnings from the beginning of your career?
Yeah, I think you're spot on when you say that there is a gap, and it's natural. And in my experience, it really was worthwhile being honest about that. And when you're joining a company for the first time, or you're quite young, you're just growing your career, everyone around you is understanding, as long as they're aware of what's going on in your head, or behind the scenes. So yeah, I think there were quite a few things that I didn't know. For example, I had no real practical media list, which for me in my role was very vital. And so being able to learn that from someone around you. I've always had mentors, or at least mentor type people. They might not necessarily know that they were that figure to me, but they very much have been. And I would identify someone or a few people that I can be really candid with, really honest, and just lean on other people to learn new things. And sometimes I would be working a lot longer than perhaps someone that has all the skills, but I saw that as that's something I want to do because I need to catch up, or I want to be able to do this role for a long period of time. And so, yeah, it's very natural. Internships are always a great way to develop those skills, and that's what I did quite a lot of as well, to pick up the real life and practical work skills.
Definitely, and this is very important because in certain portion of students, yeah, here in Bangladesh, they find internships, like a 3 months internship, time to relax. So it's just like, oh, I'm just doing internship. That's it, just to for the sake of like the grade, as a requirement of the grade, or they just go and enjoy their time during that time. But as there is the context is less opportunities to develop skills and or engaging sessions or learning hands-on learning experience from corporates or practical like organizations, they should
Mm.
take internship serious. This is the gateway. They are key to like start their career beforehand. So for to our audience, you should take your internships very seriously, or it doesn't matter that after graduation or at the last semester you have to take your internships. You can do it anytime at your university life, and anywhere, Bangladesh or other countries. You should explore those opportunities. So tell us about Hands on Hong Kong, the organization you are working. What is it about, and how do you see it that creating impact in the community, and how do you measure those impacts that
Mm.
you're creating? And very briefly, tell us about, as a communications director, what are your key roles and the skills you must have, 2 or 3 skills that a communication people who works in communication they should have at least.
Yes, yeah, and to your point about the internships, completely agree. And a nice little segue into what I'm doing now. I'd also suggest volunteering as a great way to pick up the workability skills. So don't just think of it as a internship, a formal thing. You can volunteer an hour a
Perfect.
month, go to a local charity. These types of things are great. Um, so Hands on Hong Kong is a local Hong Kong charity, and we empower everyone in Hong Kong to volunteer, and we support the needs of other charities. So these are local frontline charities that could be understaffed, under resourced, limited budget. So the work that we do, we're recruiting and mobilizing manpower to support activities, projects, initiatives of other charities. Um, so, in my role, I will be coming up with sort of marketing materials, getting to know our volunteers, getting to know our charities, looking at ways how we can bring them together, events that sort of bridge people, make connections, and being able to compel and write stories to connect people with a cause and really get people to volunteer. We actually have around 40,000 volunteers in our community. There are thousands of charities in Hong Kong, and there'll be thousands of charities in every other country that need support, that want support, that have really crucial ambitions and missions. And so our work never stops. We will always continue and want to scale what we do. In terms of your question about measuring impact, it can be quite difficult. We've got two key stakeholders. We've got our volunteers, and we know for volunteers themselves just how beneficial it is to volunteer, how it helps us mentally, professionally, it helps with our well-being. We've done studies, and we're quite rigorous at keeping data, and we do surveys with our volunteers to understand, are they sleeping better at night because they volunteer? Are their stresses reduced? Are their pressures reduced? we have a lot of students, a lot of young people who will use volunteering as a way to take their mind off of their studies, their academic success. Here in Hong Kong, it's, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of competition, and so the mental health is sort of declining, and we see volunteering as a really positive way to help lift that. And then on the other side, we have the impact with the charities themselves and the work that they can do because they have volunteers, because they have free support and free resource to continue great stuff in the community. And that's always an ongoing process. We haven't cracked that professionally. We're always learning, we're always experimenting, and we're actually going through an exercise, an organizational exercise at the moment to really understand our impact and see where we want to go in the future. Do we want to be able to provide more support to the charities that we currently work with, or do we want to expand our support and work with multiple other charities to grow the number of charities? And so the way that we hear our impact, it's, staff being able to focus on other things that they might not be able to focus on without the support of volunteers. Perhaps the well-being of the charity staff, just, being less pressured, having helping hands, and the beneficiaries, the service users themselves, the joy that volunteers can bring to them is quite amazing, and that is usually anecdotal. So we're just always mindful that impact measurement is coming from all directions and just keeping on top of that. Yeah. You asked about the skills of a comms director. One skill that I picked up through volunteering and internships that I still use today is being able to question why, sort of that research and investigative nature, because you need to have a nose for a story, because you're the one that's putting content out. You're the one that's fighting against all the other things that are going viral, all the media that's out there. And so you have to be able to know what is good content and what people want to hear about. I would say be a good listener. Always have the ability to hear other people's opinion, hear what they really need, and being able to flex to whatever it is, whatever audience, or if it's your team member or your boss, whatever it is, just being able to listen to them and being able to react. And I guess, practically, technology is a big one. I would say always stay ahead of new platforms, new technology come in. Even if you think it's irrelevant to your industry, I promise you it's not, because it will soon overtake you. And if you can just sort of keep abreast of new technology, new platforms, then as a comms professional, it's going to put you in good stead for sure.
Great, and I want to like, say a very amazing point that you have mentioned, which is like the way take care of your volunteers in most cases, especially people have seen sometimes have they say, oh, I work as a volunteer, I wasted my time, like because they in general they get very few benefits, because like there are so many so-called NGOs organizations that actually um, fulfilling the personal agenda of the founder, because that person wants to get socially some brand image or public image, or I am helping people, some negative things, but actually not true. In that case, because as an organization, or who are behind that organization don't take care of the people, because, oh, I'm getting volunteers, I am misusing them, in most cases they don't care, because the supply in technically
Mm.
is huge in most cases. But if, say for example, what we do, we actually value everyone's time. And before, taking volunteers, we have like 50 volunteers. We actually have a one-on-one session for more than 2 hours. We tell them what we do, we tell them the benefits they can get, tell them the long-term benefits they can get. And it's a long journey with us. At any point they can
Mm,
stop, they can start volunteering again at any period of their time. So the reason is, when they believe at what we do, when they believe in regarding our work, they can find ways to, find a fit about their skill sets, passion, and what we do. Then they can contribute, and whenever they are free, and we specifically tell them how they can get benefited out of it, so they can the mission or vision is objective is clear to them, what they will get
mm,
out of it, and then they can decide, okay, I will give my time or not. So this is the important thing, and the way you take the mention, you take care of your volunteers. It's important. It's very not common things that we
mm,
see in global platform or local platform, but this is important. To create a big impact, you have to take care of everyone. So this is a very nice thing. You know,
mm,
like you have a background in journalism and have transitioned into a successful communications career. Often, in terms of like here in Bangladesh, we say if we start in one industry, it is very difficult to shift to another career shift in another industry. So
mm,
in most cases, because of like so many reasons, people start, or after graduation student, some certain percentage of students have to start their work uh, wherever they get the opportunity, and then when they understand about the culture, they find it difficult. And then this negativity, so many industry experts, in the beginning of my career I faced the same thing. So, oh, no, 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 you started in this sector, this is it, you have to die in
mm,
that, working in that sector, so but in my case, I shifted, to the to another industry. And so many professionals are doing that, but maybe it is they're not, maybe their stories has not featured yet. But the
mm,
point is, this is maybe common in some countries. In your terms, if you can share, your vision, so they can students can understand, or some professionals as well, about the career transition, industry to industry. So if you share in brief, uh, your transitions in different career industry, and what inspired you to make the shifts.
mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're completely right that no career is linear these days. Often you don't know how to sort of move or shift from your degree principal to another one. For me, the skill set is very similar. And so it was more about how I can convince myself that I could do a different job or different discipline. And I think as long as sort of you're picking up the skills that can be transferable, and in my case, that's what happened. Um, Being able to write a story for a magazine is can be very similar in how to engage volunteers in the community to want to get involved in an activity because it's using storytelling, it's using communication. And so I think to switch industries completely, I've actually experienced quite a few different industries. So, university to media to insurance company to charity. But I've always been able to influence either the person that I'm trying to get a job with, or tailoring my CV to get that initial first interview, I've always been able to see the link between each organization, or the skills that are presented and that I've picked up that could then allow me to work or bring new skills to another industry. So I think that's very important to always have and bring along with you, in that sort of help yourself type of way. And if you were jumping from completely different disciplines, then it's things like internships or networking or getting to know the right people that are going to be best placed to help you, because that really is someone taking a gamble on you. And I'm sure it will work out, but it's, being able to get that first foot in the door is so vital.
Definitely, definitely. And the these transferable skills, we can travel or we can shift to any industry, any company, but skill, this is the gap, what the gap is, we fail to understand that after working in professional sector, we should keep developing ourselves. We should keep update ourselves, because everything, the dynamics are changing, new skills are coming, the demand is new, so we should adapt with this
Mm,
changing environment. It's very important. And with right skills, anyone can go anywhere. So in some cases, we should have mentor, like when we are a student, or when we are in professional sector or entrepreneurial sector. So how do you see it? If you share, who are your role models or
mm,
mentor, and the significance or importance of having mentor or role model
mm.
uh, for students and for professionals.
Yeah, as I said, yeah, I've always had mentor type figures in my life, in my career. And so they're really important to have those raw conversations with, that you feel you might not be able to have with your manager or someone that's hiring you, for example. Personally, my role models have always been my siblings, my brother and sister. I'm the youngest of three, so I've always been lucky to have two people that are just a couple of years older than me. My brother has this curiosity, very natural curiosity about the world that I really admire. And he himself, he lives in China, but has lived in many different countries and has traveled. And it is his desire to be out of his comfort zone that I admire. And I just ask a lot of questions. I make sure that I'm hearing about his experiences, learning from him. Okay, how can I do that? And actually being able to go on my first trip to South Africa, Cape Town, was really knowing that if he's done it, I can do it. And what are the tips? What are the things that I need along the way? And then my sister, she has this very natural way to always put other people first. And that is what I'm taking into my new career in social impact. She, will just naturally think of others. And that makes her a great daughter, great mother, great friend, great manager. And because she does the right thing, she'll always succeed. And so that is a mindset that I want to take. And I'd encourage others to just have those people. You don't have to tell them that they're your role model or they're your mentor, but know that there's things and there's qualities in them that you admire and that you want to learn from and build yourself from.
Definitely, that's amazing. It's not about it has to be a professional figure or a very famous person. We can look around and find. So this is the thing, that if you look around and search what you are looking for, you will find maybe from your relatives or family members, or maybe people you may know. So this is important, that mindset is important. So you have been recognized as a future leader in internal communications. What are some key lessons or experiences that have contributed to your success?
Oh, thank you. I think, yeah, when I received that accolade, I was, yeah, in my early 20s. And I think it was seen as, quite standout for someone so young to be doing so well in the internal communications industry. Internal communications industry in itself was quite new. And this is where companies use communications to engage their staff. So it's sort of quite a new area. Um, I think just, yeah, always having the confidence to speak to people, you know, getting above the flat line and just learning new things and taking that back into the workplace. Yeah, and just meeting people that excel in this field. Along the way, when I first jumped into internal comms, my brother-in-law was also in internal comms, and so he would take me along to his events, networking. He was well established, and I just jumped at opportunities like that, being able to put yourself into the new experiences and soak up and really absorb things. And it can only do you good. And that has really just helped develop my skill sets and what I do today.
Great. In today's interconnected world, a global mindset is crucial. So, how can communication professionals develop this perspective? If you share in brief some point on that.
Yeah, I mean, the list could go on for hours, but I think being a communicator, you're naturally connected on various platforms. It's so easy to learn about different cultures. It's so easy to start a conversation now because you can quickly understand, you can research someone, you can learn about them in minutes just by looking at their LinkedIn profile, for example. Um, in communications, you must always, be aware of what the new platforms are, what the new social media is. And so really just own that and be in that space and um, yeah, connect with other countries, always think with that global mindset. The organization that I'm with now is part of a global affiliate group called Points of Light. And tonight I'll actually fly to Texas to meet with all the global leaders of these affiliates. And that's an opportunity that, yeah, that I just really relish. I'm so fortunate to be in that position to receive a scholarship and sponsorship to be able to do that. But those are the opportunities. You don't always have to fly somewhere, but make sure you're staying connected on social platforms and Zooms and meetups, things like that.
Great. As we are almost at the end of our session, it would be great to know a lot of things from you, but we would like to, request our audience, if you have any questions to our speaker, you can reach out to her through LinkedIn, through email. So it would be a great way to connect or get your, if you have different questions, it will be answered by her, I bet. So before, we end the session, there is one question like, what advice would you give to students who, are interested in pursuing a career in communications? So being a students, how they can, prepare themselves to pursue a career in communications. If you share some key skills or some guideline for them.
Yeah. One top key skill is stay adaptable. Always be prepared to be ready for change. The industry is always changing. It's 10 years ago when I started out, it's so different to what it is now. Don't be afraid of change. Don't worry if your career goes off in different routes. Technology, I think, I've sort of mentioned this throughout today, but I can't stress it enough that keeping abreast of what the latest trends are, what the newest technology is, and make sure that you know how to make the most of it, but also where you can still apply your own skills. And so, with that, I would say developing critical thinking, using your brain in a way that technology will never be able to replace it, being able to challenge assumptions and question why is a really key skill to develop. Internships and experience, hands-on experience. Go out there, meet with companies or charities or organizations, go along to talks and listen and absorb, because things are always changing. And so the more knowledge you have, the more likely you are to succeed.
Definitely, and like by being associated themselves with what is going on, maybe in the sector, what are the skills, if they just search on search engine, they can get answers and how they should prepare, what are the skill sets they should have. Then based on that, they can develop themselves, and they have to work out regarding what career they want to go for. They should prepare some themselves skills wise and knowledge wise. So, Miss Fiona, thank you for your amazing session and the insights and passion we try to connect from your student life and the person here right now. And it is very clear that all your journeys, your vision or mission was very clear. You did your work before changing, and skills that you have mentioned, and the continuous learning mentality, this is very important as well. So it's for everyone, students, professionals, it is a must to have skills for everyone. So on behalf of school of entrepreneurship development, I would like to share our sincere gratitude towards you for your valuable time, and we wish you very best of luck at what you are doing and what you will do in the future.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, and just want to wish luck to all your viewers. Thank you.
Thank you so much and have a good day.
Yes, have a good weekend. Bye.